You probably came across this video because you were in a relationship that started off like a true love story, the stuff that fairy tales are made of. You can't believe you were so lucky to have found such a wonderful love connection. But suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel like you've been hit by a freight train, and what once was a fairy tale slowly turns into a nightmare that you can't seem to wake up from. You can't understand how someone who proclaimed to love you so deep could change into someone that you barely recognize. If you've been involved with a narcissist, then you may be very familiar with their cycle of abuse. It's also possible that you've gone through these phases of the narcissist abuse cycle and didn't even realize that that is what you were experiencing. Most narcissists, whether they are friends, coworkers, acquaintances, and especially romantic relationships, will take you through the 3 stages of the narcissist abuse cycle: idolization, devalue, and discard. Before we get into this video, make sure you check out the link in the description for my best recommendations when it comes to understanding narcissism and putting your life back together after this type of emotional abuse. Now, let's get straight into the video. The first stage of the narcissist abuse cycle is the idolization phase. This is the most critical stage, as if done correctly, this phase will set the tone for what happens throughout the remainder of the relationship. This is the most dangerous stage because it is in this phase that the narcissist hooks you in and makes you feel truly special. During this time, the narcissist focuses all of their attention on you. If the narcissist is still dealing with other supplies, which they typically are, they will be put on maintenance mode, meaning they will have very limited contact with them as their main focus will be on their new target. The new target will be put on a pedestal, and in some cases, the narcissist truly believes they have found perfection. Some common things they will comment on during this stage will be your compatibility. They will claim that you have everything in common. They will do this by mirroring your likes to make you believe you are so much alike that you must be destined to be together. They will start planning a future together, even if they have no intentions on having a future with you, because they know when your attention is focused on the future, it's natural to feel more secure in the relationship. This future planning may include plans on moving in together, getting engaged, and even meeting the family in the early stages of the relationship. During the idolization stage, they will praise everything about you: your looks, your spirituality, your intelligence. They will definitely make you feel like they have found the perfect mate in finding you. This is all part of the love bomb that is presented in the idolization phase. They may buy you lavish gifts, take you on extravagant trips, visit expensive restaurants. The world is your oyster. As one person described it, when I first met him, he was the perfect man, a perfect gentleman. Anything I wanted, he would make sure I had. If I asked him for a star in the sky, it was mine. Their goal is to become exactly who they think you want them to be. You may have been targeted before the relationship ever even started, so they pay attention to the type of person you are, and in the beginning of the relationship, they are obsessively in tune with the things they believe you want, almost like a sixth sense. If they find that chivalry is very important to you, they will be chivalrous. If you are a very spiritual person, they will pray with you. If finances are important to you, they will spend money to show you that they have the ability to take care of you. If having kids is important to you, they will explain how they can't wait to be the perfect father. They will say and do anything to hook you in. During the idolization phase, you may feel like everything is happening so quickly, but you throw caution to the wind because you don't want to ruin the moment. You finally found a partner that gets you. You finally found someone who understands the value you bring to a relationship. After all, you deserve to be happy. During this time, you may notice some red flags from time to time, but you explain it away because, again, you don't want this intoxicating feeling to ever stop. At this point, you may even relax boundaries that you once held onto so strongly, thinking, well, if this is going to be my future, I could compromise. Again, this all feels great in the beginning, but it can become overwhelming because the narcissist has put everything on hold to focus on you. And you can best believe they expect you to do the same. So you're now talking to your friends and family less and less because the narcissist is occupying more and more of your time. You're doing less and less of the things you used to love because you're so busy with the new love of your life. But over time, you'll find the rug will be pulled from under you and you will feel like you just got slapped in the face by an airbag. Normal relationships typically process at a normal speed. It takes time to get to know each other, learn each other's likes and dislikes. You should be wary of any relationship that moves at an accelerated speed. But the charm is put on so heavy and you feel so good during the idolization phase, you want to snatch this one off the market before someone else does. And they know this. So they have you playing a game that you didn't even realize you signed up for. This idolization phase can last anywhere from weeks to months or even a year depending on how long it takes them to get you under their spell. But eventually, the relationship will change and you will move into the next stage of the narcissist abuse cycle, the devalue phase. Some narcissists are playing a game right from the very beginning. They know they have no intentions on having a future with you. But some actually believe that you are their soulmate and that you are perfection. This is why they are so convincing in their conquest because they believe you are perfect. And the fairy tale that you were experiencing fits the script for the love story they imagined in their head. But at some point, they realize that you are not perfect. You snore in your sleep. You leave the toilet seat up. You're not the best cook. You dye your hair. You don't look like a supermodel without makeup on. You gained a few extra pounds. You like to sleep in on your day off. It could be any number of reasons that perfection veil starts to fall off because, as we know, no one is perfect. At stage 2 in a normal relationship, the honeymoon period subsides and you begin to grow closer and start understanding one another on a deeper level and moving as a cohesive unit. You understand relationships are full of compromise and you're willing to put in the work it takes to get to the next level. But when the honeymoon is over in a narcissistic relationship, the narcissist starts to see you as flawed. This is not the perfect relationship they were expecting. As the old song goes, the thrill is gone. Now that they have you hooked, they start to show their true self. Their mask falls off. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of energy for them to act like the perfect mate for all this time. But now that they realize that you're not the shiny new toy they believed you to be, they can move on to be more of who they truly are. You'll notice that they may start criticizing you about the things they once complimented you on. You know, the things they said they loved about you. It usually begins so subtle, you don't even realize it's happening. They may say something like, "Joey said you have a big forehead, but I love your forehead. I think it's cute." Now, you may have never even considered or heard of anyone mentioning the size of your forehead, but now that Joey and other people are apparently saying that you have a big forehead, you make sure the next time you go out, you wear bangs. Another example would be after getting all done up for a special night on the town, instead of complimenting you, they may say, "I thought you were going to wear the other outfit." Because he didn't even acknowledge your new glammed up look, instead of enjoying yourself, you're doubting your look, your attire. You're thinking, "Do I look okay? He's right. Maybe I should have worn something else." Over time, these subtle comments tear at your confidence and your self-esteem. They will start devaluing everything you love. The job you were so proud of, your family, your friends. They may start saying things like, "I don't want to go over Susie. She doesn't like me." Susie never told you she didn't like your mate, but now you decide not to hang out with Susie because you don't want to make him or her feel uncomfortable. This serves two purposes. It makes you feel uncomfortable and alienates you from people who probably truly love and care about you. At this stage in the relationship, you are probably noticing other red flags. You ask for honesty, trust, and compromise, but they act like they have no idea what you're talking about. In addition, the more you ask for the things that are required in a normal, loving relationship, the more they start to pull away. They may start withholding the same intimacy and affection that they gave so freely at the beginning of the relationship. You are now confused by how someone who felt so strongly and claimed to love you so much can suddenly be so different now. You start to make excuses for their behavior, thinking that you must have done something wrong to cause the change of heart. At this point, they will probably be providing intermittent love to string you along. One day they love you and everything is fine. The next day, you're fighting for their affection. A little love and affection here, mixed with the underhand comment here or there. They may disappear from time to time with no explanation and then return again like nothing's ever happened, lowering your boundaries with each return. Ultimately, they will move on to the discard phase. This is the phase in which they will move on to a shinier new object. They are completely bored with the relationship and they have decided to move on to greener pastures. Just as quickly and intensely as it started, it will end, leaving you questioning if they ever really loved you at all. You see, you were an adrenaline rush to them in the beginning, but now they are just plain bored by the reality of a relationship that is not perfect like they thought it would be. The harder you fight for the relationship, the worse they will treat you because they understand that you are so desperate to get back the old them, you'll do anything to make it work. They will leave for other reasons as well. If you were their meal ticket and you can now no longer afford to take care of them because they've bled you dry, they're out of there. And of course, if they found someone new, someone they've probably been grooming since they started devaluing you, they will discard you so that they can take all that energy and attention to focus it on the next target who is in the idolization love bombing phase. But don't think it's over. Just when you finally come to grips of what has happened and pulled yourself back together again, they'll come back. But not for the reason you think. It won't be because they realize how wrong they did you and that you truly are the best thing that ever happened to them. No, they'll come back when they realize the target they left you for is also not perfect. Or they'll come back because they see you moving on and don't want you to forget about them. Or they'll come back just to see if they still can. Or they'll come back if they are low on narcissistic supply. Or they'll come back if they need some money. Or any other benefit they feel they can get from you at the time. When they return after the discard, this is called the Hoover. They tell you everything you want to hear so that you will allow them to return and repeat the cycle again and again. A normal, healthy relationship does not follow the cycle of abuse, and you deserve better. Understanding this narcissistic cycle of abuse should help you understand that you did nothing wrong, and there is nothing you could have done to prevent the events from playing out exactly as they did. As you continue on your journey of understanding the patterns that these toxic relationships follow, it will help you identify issues at the beginning of the relationship so you can run the other way before it ever gets to the later stages. For more videos like this, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And now to the next video.